Sim Station back at you, and I've had a good weekend going. 2026 purchases and find it, fix it, and flip it included in this one. So the one thing that I'm always short of, I'm short of a lot of stuff, but the one thing, it seems I have more motherboards and processors than I have cases, right? So I found 2 cases on Marketplace. And when I went to meet the guy, I ended up buying 5 cases. That's right. Then, on a separate purchase, I had found a motherboard and processor I thought was at a pretty good deal for me. So I bought it and wound up buying 2 power supplies with that. And on a third purchase, I bought just a single power supply. So I'm going to show you all that today. 2 of the cases, I don't even know if I'll be able to part with them because they're really, really cool. But I'll show you and you guys tell me what you think about it. But this is going to kick off, where it's going to tie into the find it, fix it, or flip it, is I'm going to build these systems. I'm going to build these cases out. And that is going to be part of the find it, fix it, or flip it. I got such a good deal on this stuff, guys and gals, that I'm going to use it in our find it, fix it, or flip it. Take our profit from that, reinvest it in this, build systems out, and we'll have more than one to sell this time, right? So that's the plan behind this, and that's what I was thinking when I bought it. One of them, and I get people saying, well, the 6th and 7th gen Intels are garbage now. Game on them and tell me if they are. I mean, that's up to you guys and gals to decide whether or not that part's true. I still play games on a 4th gen. You know what I mean? And I'll never get rid of my X58s, and they live long past their due date, right? Or expiration date, whatever way you want to look at it. So it's good to be back in another video in 2026, and let's take a look at this stuff, and you guys tell me what you think. More than 2 of these cases, let me just show you, and you tell me what you think about them. All right, for the most part, I haven't done time to research what model case it is, just what manufacturer it is. This is a Lian Li case right here. You can see it's got the USBs, the USB-C, and the audio, the power, and the reset right here. The front panel and the side panel are removable by taking the top cover off. I have discovered that. You can see it pops off nice and easy, and then you can just pull these covers out. Easier with a camera not in your hand. I can show you guys that, but there we go right there. Oh, you're looking at me. So you can pull that off, and you can pull the front out, and it opens this whole case up. This is probably going to be the first case that we build. So taking a look at this here, it's probably going to be the first one we build. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on these because we got 5 of them to go through, and 1 of them isn't even in a room, and I'm going to save the best for last, guys and gals. So that right there is the Lian Li case. It does have glass in the front. I got stuff all over the table. My wife went through with me on the adventure, and she just shook her head every time, but we went and did some thrift store shopping and had lunch, so it was a good day. Okay, so that's the Lian Li. This is going to be the first build we do. It is going to get a Ryzen 3600 processor in the build. That's what we're going to do. We do have the USB-C option on that motherboard, so we're going to use it. But that's case number 1 of 5 on this Marketplace find. The second case, I'm going to do these one at a time. So I'll cut you guys off and I'll move the next one up. But I already have the second case up behind this, so I'm going to slide this over. And this one's pretty cool. As you see me move a side cover right there. That is another Lian Li case. These work great for HTPCs or just anyone that needs a compact computer, right? So it's got the glass side panel option on it now. You can put the screen like this. Well, actually this side panel goes to it as well. So you can replace the glass with the screen if you prefer for cooling. But this particular Lian Li will fit a 360 millimeter radiator at the top. So it is an ITX case, and it does take an SPX power supply. And we didn't get that with it, obviously. Or unfortunately, whichever way you want to look at it. But right here's the back of the case. It does have the remote power like our Cooler Master case had. And then of course your IO shield covers here and stuff like that. So really, really, really cool little ITX case right there. And if you look up just the prices of the Lian Li, these two cases aren't super cheap, right? So we're going to have another ITX build in the future. And I don't like those. They're difficult for cable management. I think this one's going to be a little easier because it's longer than the Cooler Master case. A lot longer. It's about the same height probably, or close in height. But man, this one would look good in your living room for an HTPC. I'm not even going to lie about that. So that's case number 1 and 2 of 5 cases here. And like I said, this build's going to have to wait a little bit because we're going to have to acquire an ITX motherboard again. And of course an SPX power supply. So this one we might have around here for a little while. And we'll do a different build on it. But this Lian Li case that I showed you first is going to get built first. They're beautiful cases. I love the Lian Li. The quality of them's really good. You guys could tell me what you think about those. But I'm going to get those done because I have 3 more cases. I have a motherboard and processor, and I have power supply still to go through. So I'll cut you off while I get my next one up here, and we'll do them one at a time. All right, case number 3. This is a Phanteks case. It has the mesh front. Still USB-C option on it. Got 2 USB 3, USB-C, reset, audio. Power's up there, nice screen up there. Looks to be like a mid or possibly a full size case here. But there's the side panel. I really like the side panel because it's hinged. What I mean by that is it literally sits on hinges. So I like that. It's got 1 case fan in the back. It's got 2 in the front here. I don't think it's got any on the top. So we gotta RGB these things. They sell better, right? But another one I don't know the model on. I haven't had time to look these up yet, guys. I'm just showing you what they are, what we purchased. That's all this is. This isn't a build video. It is literally a marketplace find. So there it is right there, the Phanteks case. And I like this one. I think it's going to make a really nice build too for our find it, fix it, or flip it. So that's case number 3. I saved the best for last, guys. I really did. But these first ones are nothing to, they're really nothing to laugh about. They're really nice cases, the Lian Li's and this one here. So let's go to the next case and we'll try to burn through these so we can get through the other stuff, right? All right, guys, if I could find the most out-of-the-world cases that you can think of a case manufacturer. Think of a brand name for them, right? And let's take a look at case number 4. I hope you like this one because I absolutely love it, but not as much as the 5th case I'm going to show you. But without further ado, it's a little bit wild, so brace yourself. This case, case number 4, is a Cougar. And you talk about wild, this case has it. There's all your USB, audio, reset, and power button right here. You can see it's a very open case. There's negative drawbacks about having a case open like this. It's got glass on both sides. So you see glass back here, and you got glass up there. I need to turn some more lights on. We'll do that while we're working here. I just don't have enough lights. Let's get some more lights going on here. All right, so case number 4 right here. Just really, really cool. First time I've owned one of these. So there's a look in the inside. You can see where 360 can mount if you look closely in there. And I'm not going to take the time to pull the side panels off this one, guys. It is what it is. You can look it up. There is mounting for a radiator at the top too. It'll fit a 240 up here. So we do have top mount radiator too. So 240 there, 360 on the side, or 2 fans up here. And there's, are those fan screws still sitting in there? Yes, they are. Look at that. So that's kind of nice to have. Always looking for fan screws, right? The power supply is weird because it's inset on this one. See that? It actually mounts inward in the case. So that's kind of weird. I guess you flip it on and leave it on, right? You'll want to in that one. So this one's going to be a pretty cool build. I got to think of what way we're going to go with it. If we have an open case like this, we need to make it look, well, badass, right? So we'll have to figure out a build for that one. But I really like the case, but I am a guy all about keeping them clean. And these open cases like this are going to get dusty. They are. I mean, that's just a drawback for it. But these, you can look them up. This is not a cheap case. That is not a cheap case. And the cool factor, if you have a really, really nice build you want to show off, these cases are perfect for it. Because it's wild enough to pull it off, right? Tell me what you think about the Cougar cases, but I picked up one in this deal, and I'm showing it to you right here. So this is case number 4, and at the end I'll tell you what I paid for all 5 cases. And that is the Cougar case. And I like it. I mean, it's wild, right? It is wild, but I definitely like it for a PC case. And I actually think it'll probably sell well. So there it is one more time, run across the top, and we're going to shut down. And I'm going to probably have to get 2 people to put the next case up here, but it's coming up. So our 5th and final case is the most wild case you're going to see. This is also a Cougar case. I'm going to let you soak it in. So this one has a handle in the back, and you take this screw here out and this one over here, remove that bar, and that whole inner computer will slide out with that handle. The whole thing. So you can do your build, your fans and all come out. So if you have radiators to put in, you can. This case is wild, guys and gals, and it is huge. It is large and definitely in charge, right? So I don't know what market you have for this case, but it was probably $400 or $500 when it was new. You guys can tell me. I know it wasn't a cheap one because it's radical, right? I mean, it looks badass. The one Cougar is pretty badass, but this one is really badass. It's a big, heavy case, so I know it's going to limit the people who would buy it. But man, you talk about a conversation piece for a gaming rig, this is it right here. So we have USB 3.1 or USB-C right here, 2 USBs in the middle. Microphone, headphone port separate. You got power and reset, power. So you got both them up there. These are RGB lights there and there that are built into the case. You have 2 separate glass panels on each side, so you got an upper and then a lower down there. And then that plastic, one of the plastic has got a prong broke on the other side. So we'll have to take a look at fixing that or how we could fix it. But this is case number 5 on the case purchases. And I went to buy 2. I went to buy the Phanteks and the white Cougar case, and then I ended up with this Cougar case and the Lian Li's. And I can tell you, I have $200 in all 5 cases. So that's what I bought from him, was 5 cases for $200. And you know, for one of the Lian Li's, the full-size Lian Li was probably $100. The smaller ITX was probably even more than that. But these Cougar cases, if you look up the prices, $300-500 easy. And that Phanteks case was probably another 100. So I think we come out pretty good on the cases. So we got 200 invested in these. And we'll see what kind of builds we can do, right? This one's got to have a wild build on it, though. It might be a while. I got to collect parts. And if we have trouble selling this big of a case, I think I'll just keep it and turn it into the editing rig, because it'd be a pretty cool piece to have in a room, right? Just a really cool build. Really cool build to go in this one. But I like it. I do. I mean, it's just wild enough for me to like it. And you can see it's kind of, I don't know, it flexes a little bit, like it's spring-loaded. But it moves independently from the motherboard tray, which is also kind of odd, but kind of cool in a way. That does it for the 5 cases, though. We got $200 in those. And these were from the first marketplace purchase this weekend. So I get these 5 out of the way, and then we'll pull the other parts up that I purchased separately. All right, marketplace find number 2 right here. This is a motherboard, CPU cooler. Does have the I/O shield with it. It is a gigabyte motherboard. And it is a Z290, I believe. I don't know, it's on here somewhere. GA270. Okay. So it's a GA270 board. And it's got a i7 6700K in it. So that's the motherboard and processor. We are going to do this in one of the builds, obviously. That's what I bought it for. So we'll do it in one of our builds. I just realized I'm short of graphics cards again, so we'll have to figure that out. I got 2 power supplies with that. One EVGA 450BT right here. And then one Gigamatech. You guys tell me, Gigamatech, what is it? You see it right there. But I believe it is a 400 watt. It's a 80 plus bronze, so yep, that's a 400 watt. Right there. So we got the 2 power supplies in that. I give $140 for all that right there. So I give $140 for that. And we got the 2 power supplies and the motherboard and stuff. This was pre-tested to light up before I bought it. So I know it works. It didn't come with any memory, which sucks, especially when you look at DDR4 prices now, right? So that part does suck, but we got the motherboard, looks really good. It's really clean. Of course, we got a CPU cooler with it, and you can see the fan right there that's hooked to that. And then the 2 power supplies. So the only other purchase I had, I'll pull it over here now, and I give $30 for it. That's a cooler, or a Thermaltake Smart 700 watt like I buy at Best Buy all the time. The price went up on these, by the way, at Best Buy. But I found this on Marketplace for $30. And it looks brand new. So I give the $30 for that one. And we got us a 700 watt Smart for one of our builds. This will be for any of them that got a higher end processor and graphics card, obviously, or something that needs more power. But we'll be able to utilize those too in budget builds, some of the lower powered budget builds, right? So they were worth it for me to have power supplies. But that's going to conclude this weekend's marketplace find. It's up to you guys and gals to tell me how I did on this one. $200 for all 5 cases, right? Another $140 sitting right here. So if you do the math on that, that's $340, right? Well, plus another $30, so $370. Let's say just under $400. 5 cases, 3 power supplies, a motherboard, CPU. Seemingly, I haven't tested all of it because I tested the Gigatech power supply because I have more confidence in the EVGA in this one, but we're obviously going to test them because we're about ready to start a build. And we're going to start it with the, I believe we're going to use either the Phanteks or the Lian Li bigger case. And we're going to do a Ryzen 3600 build in that one. So that's what's coming up. I mean, that'll come up. It's not this video, obviously. This is just going over the major purchase. And you won't be surprised when I pull cases out and say, well, what's he got in that case, or where did that come from that he's using for a find it, fix it, or flip it? Because every build going in these cases and using these power supplies is a find it, fix it, or flip it. So every one of these builds that are going to go in here is a find it, fix it, or flip it. And there is a cost attached to each one of those parts that go into that. That's a fact. So we'll be able to put our cost in each build, and then we'll sell it and see what our profit is from that. But I'm hoping that this is my last case purchases to finish this whole thing up. Like I said before, and you guys know it because you look at the prices, the price of DDR4, 32 gigs of that will cost you what DDR5 would a month and a half ago. I'm not making that up. So DDR4 is going up in price. I think even DDR3 is starting to creep up a little bit. So that's what happens when there's a shortage in the market of DDR5 RAM, right? People just start building DDR4 systems. The other thing it did was drove the Ryzen 5000 series CPU price up a little bit. You can look at that on eBay. It's ridiculous, but it has. Because people are doing DDR4 builds because the memory's cheaper, right? I'm going to have to find some DDR4 memory, and I'm afraid that's going to break the bank a little bit. But I think we're still going to be okay. I mean, I was looking on Marketplace and eBay, and I think we're still going to be okay on this. Hard drives, the idea I'm going to use, since I got so many old HDDs that are terabyte, 2 terabyte, I'm going to actually do a smaller solid state drive to boot, and then a large 2 terabyte drive to store your games and stuff on. So kind of like we used to do 8-9 years ago, right? Before they started making the larger drive SSDs and we started getting a hold of them. That's because I'm down on SSDs, and when I find them, I'm not paying an exorbitant price for them. So I'm buying the 240s. I'm going to be completely honest with you. I bought a couple of them off eBay that I got back there. One of them I actually had to use in my own build. You're going to see a video on that. It's a server build. But the other one's going to go in it'll probably go with this one right here, to be honest with you. We won't put an M.2 in it because they have become unobtainable. I'm not paying that price for them. I don't know about some of you guys, but I'm not paying that price for them. Over 10 cents a gigabyte's ridiculous. It is. And 11 to 13 cents, like someone else commented, is even more ridiculous. 5 cents a gig is about right. 5 to 6 cents. So as long as it's doubled in price, a guy don't really want to touch it. I'll just look for used options and stuff like that. But it has become more scarce, and the used market has went up in reflection to the price going up on all of it. So, not to mention that the stuff I see on the used marketplace, and I'm in a big market, is not very good right now. The deals are just not very good, so they're sporadic. And I kind of been looking and watching stuff. That power supply I put on my save list a month ago, and it hadn't sold, and I offered $30 and I bought it. That just gives you an idea. And I bound them all up on this weekend, so I would kill more than, 2 birds with 1 stone kind of thing, so I'm not burning a bunch of gas while I'm going out and looking for these. So I went out one time, I met with 3 different sellers, and I bought all this. That's how it went. I had the whole back of the Boot Scootin' Yukon full of computer cases, the whole back of it. That's going to do it though for our marketplace find. 5 cases, 3 power supplies, a motherboard and CPU right here. You tell me what you think about it. These are going to be used in find it, fix it, or flip it builds, and all those builds will be video documented so we could go over the cost. I keep track of all this, guys, so I'll know the cost in every single computer. That way we can see what our profit is when we sell it. And I don't know that the big boy, the big Cougar case, the red and black one, I don't know that that's getting sold. I think it's cool, and you don't see them a lot because they're so expensive. People don't buy them new usually. I have it sitting here, and the guy is not going to let it go, more than likely. I'm just going to tell you that. We're going to do a video on it because that's the coolest damn case I ever seen in my life, right? So we're going to do a video on it, and I've never owned one that cool. So we're going to do a video on it, but for now, don't expect to see that go in a build. Don't expect to see a build go in it soon, because I may have to make plans for that one, right? Like I said in the beginning of the video, I appreciate each and every one of you more than you'll know. Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel, for liking the videos. It means everything to me. And it drives me to go out and make purchases like this, to know that on the other side I can make videos and I'll come out okay on it, right? I mean, that's what it's all about, and possibly teach you what kind of deals to look for. I got 5 cases for $200 because I bought 5 cases at once. I mean, that's how it is. You negotiate the price and what you're comfortable paying, and that's exactly what I did there. This stuff, again, negotiating price, because I bought 2 power supplies in that, and I just negotiated it down a little bit more. He originally wanted $125 for that and 25 a piece for these. That's $175, so I got it for $140. I'm okay with that. And then, of course, this was listed for $50, and I ended up getting it for $30 because it was listed for a month. So don't be afraid to ask for a lower price and to do a little bit of negotiating. That's part of buying off marketplace in the used market. As far as the Goodwill stuff, I haven't been on there much lately because I've been focused on marketplace, what builds I'm going to do, and honestly getting my head dialed around how we're gonna mitigate, or how we're gonna get through the price increase on, you know, the hard drives and the memory. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna figure it out. I pretty much got the hard drive side figured out. We're just gonna have to go with smaller boot drives and larger drives to hold the games. The memory I don't have figured out, but I'll come up with something. You guys and gals know that. I've been hoping some of these purchases there would be DDR4 memory in there, but there's not. The only other thing I want to add into this video before I close it out, and you're going to see it in our next build, is don't buy 3D printed IO shields. I did it on eBay and it was a big mistake. They don't fit properly. So I don't recommend anyone buy them. You can get on eBay and order IO shields from China, and they'll come metal and they work. I know that because I've done it. But the 3D printed plastic ones are garbage. I won't do it again. It was a mistake that I made. It's not flexible. It doesn't pop into the case like these do. So I'm gonna have to figure out a way to secure one in a case, and you're gonna see it in a build. And that way we can get the motherboard in it. But that's gonna be a Ryzen 3600, but I have to straighten the pins on that CPU. So we don't know how any of this is gonna work yet. We may just switch and do this one for our first build. But we'll see. I mean, that's going to come in another video. Thank you once again for tuning in. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I'll catch you, hopefully, I'll catch you on the very next SimSation video. But once again, thank you for tuning in. Give you one more look at our parts we got sitting down on the table. Now I got a big mess to clean up before dinner, and before the missus kills me. So that's it. We'll see you on the next one.